Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of BluPrints, where today we are going to take the suggestion of one of our subscribers. Frothy Rose wants to know how to make a 2x2 piston door that's compact and uses a key on the outside. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let me show you how this works, and then I'll show you how to build it. For any normal passerby, this may look like just a standard hallway. There's nothing too crazy about it, but we know a little bit better because we do own this base, and we know that there is a secret place you can scan your ID badge. We can toss it in right there. We'll pick it back up, and the door magically opens into our treasure room, where we've got all of these guys guarding our super secret treasure. We've got BluJay's super secret treasure right in there. It is safe from the world, and then we can push this button to get back out. As far as the mechanism is concerned for this door, it is relatively compact. There's not a whole lot to it, but as you can see, there are a few redstone lines, namely here, here, and here, that do extend a little bit further than I'd like to, but that is kind of the nature of a door. Let's go ahead and look at how to build this. The first thing that we want to do for this build is to create a shape that looks just like this. One block here, 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 and here. This is going to be our standard item sorter. Now, in Minecraft, there is another variation of this that does work better in situations where you're building a mass auto sorting storage system, but because we only have one of these, this is the shape that we want to go with. For the first redstone circuit, we want to place down a comparator right here, followed by 2 pieces of redstone dust. Then we want to grab a repeater set to 1 tick and face it into this block just like so, and then we want to grab a redstone torch and place it down right there. Next, we want to take a hopper and place it down facing directly into this comparator right there, and then grab a couple of placeholder blocks, break that one, and then throw down another hopper right there, facing the opposite direction. Then what we can do is we can place another placeholder block right here, break that one, and then throw a hopper facing that direction right there. And then we want to grab an upward facing dropper, place it down. The reason that we are setting it up like this is so that we can drop our keycard into this hopper. It will filter out into this dropper, immediately shooting it back up through the floor so we can pick it up before heading through our hidden door. In order for our ID badge to shoot back up through the floor, we want to go ahead and wire this up with a redstone comparator facing out of the dropper, 1 piece of redstone dust, then a repeater. Then we can go ahead and throw down redstone dust right back into the dropper, and this circuit is complete. Then go ahead and grab 24 of any kind of material in this game. It can be anything from anvils to enchantment tables to lanterns. I would recommend going with something that's not crazy expensive. If you want to go with something like cobble, it's totally fine as well, but for our purpose today, we want to make it look like an ID badge. So we're going to go ahead and use name tags. We want to throw 24 name tags into our anvil here and rename them to anything that's not another name of a block or item in the game, so ID badge is pretty safe. We're going to go ahead and place these down into the top hopper here, which will be our item sorter. It will lock the items in place until we get enough items to unlock this redstone torch and send it through the system. We want to go ahead and keep 1 in our inventory so that we can use that to enter into the room. We'll place 1 down here, 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 and the rest in this column right there. So now this is functioning, it's working. As you can see, 1 of them dropped down, but it didn't pop back up through the system. There is a reason for that. There is always 1 item stuck in this bottom hopper right here. So essentially you need 22 in this hopper, 1 in that hopper, and then you've got a total of 23, plus the 1 in your hand that makes 24. If this is all that you want to do with the system, we can toss this ID badge in there and you can see it pops back up. We do want to build some walls around this because it is a little bit random where this ID badge pops back out, but that's what we'll get to in just a moment. Next, in order to make this as compact as possible, we want our door to be as close as possible to the redstone circuitry, so we'll place down a sticky piston right there with another one right next to it, and then we'll go ahead and break these placeholder blocks. And then right behind it, we want to grab a piece of redstone dust, place it here and here, and then we really only need to activate 1 of these pieces of redstone because it will activate both of them together. In order to activate this redstone dust, we'll go ahead and build out 2 blocks, break that placeholder, go up 1 more, break that placeholder, and then place down a redstone torch. The first part of our door is essentially done until we get to wiring up the redstone ID badge mechanism. So then we can go ahead and start building out the first part of our door. So we're going to use, for our purposes, white concrete. We'll place that down there. You can use any block that you want in the game as long as it's not immovable by sticky pistons, or as long as it's not see-through, because if this is going to be a hidden door, you don't want people peeking into your treasure room. You want it to be a solid block. In order to complete this door, we need 2 more pieces just like this because it is a 2x2 piston door, but these blocks right here will not move until we have some sticky pistons. So in order to wire this up, let's go ahead and build up 3 placeholder blocks, break these 2 right here, and then we'll grab our sticky pistons again, throw it down here, throw it down there, and then we can do the same thing with redstone dust here, and a redstone torch right there. As you can see, we've gone ahead and built out the infrastructure for the rest of this redstone circuitry, and while we were doing so, we made a couple of changes. Nothing too severe, but you should note that this block right here, these 2 that have this redstone dust on top of it, we did move those up 1 because in the process of building, this is going to be at ceiling height for a comfortable level. You could keep them down here if you only want it to be this tall of a room, but just to give us a little bit more headspace, we moved it up 1 more block, and we shifted up this block as well. And we also changed these blocks, and we've added these blocks to represent the color of our ceiling just to give us enough space to do so. In order for this door to stay open long enough for us to walk through it comfortably without having to feel rushed, we need a pulse extender. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a repeater, throw that down right there, and then we're going to go ahead and place down some redstone dust here and here with 2 comparators facing this direction, 2 comparators facing the opposite direction, and then 2 more pieces of redstone dust going into these comparators so that it makes a circular pattern just like that. And then we want to carry that extended pulse out with some more redstone dust and then place down a repeater here, and then we'll extend that to 4 ticks because we want this ID badge to fire out through the floor before this door opens so that we can grab it and then walk through. The rest of this is pretty self-explanatory as it is just a redstone line heading to each part of the door and to the exit, but one thing to note is that we have built this infrastructure out of glass. The reason why we've done that is if this was a solid block, this would not work because the signal would get blocked right here, not allowing it to pass through. But in order to split this signal into 2 different directions, this is a fantastic way to do that. Had a couple of viewers suggest that in the last couple videos, so we're going to do that today. We can go ahead and place down redstone here, and as you can see, the line carries through, and we can run it all the way into a repeater that goes into that block. And then we can go up and split this signal, and as you can see, it carries upward as well, and on up into the next part of the door. Last but not least, once we are inside the secret room, we do not want to be stuck in here forever. So let's go ahead and build ourselves an exit strategy. That will be a button placed down on this block right here with a redstone line running back into our pulse extender, and this whole thing is completely finished. We can go ahead and press this button just to test it out. The door opens up, we can exit freely. Let's go over here and test out the entry circuit as well. Toss our ID badge into the reader. There it comes back out, door is open, door is closed, everything is working just as it should. The only thing left for us to do is go ahead and build out a floor and some walls to hide all of this redstone circuitry. In order to clean this up a little bit more as well and to hide our input system, we can throw down some carpet. Don't worry, placing 2 carpets there will not interrupt this signal. It will flow through. All set to go there, and then we can throw down some carpet just like that, and then maybe we can continue to bend the hallway and extend out just like we've done with our original build. One last thing to note is that it is probably a good idea to place down solid blocks here and over the top of the dropper just so that it forces the item back up to the surface, and some walls here like this in order to direct it back where we want it to be, which is right here where we're standing. So let's go ahead and give this one last quick test. There's our badge, there's our door, and we're on the inside. But I think that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. I'm looking forward to seeing some more suggestions just like this, and hopefully you guys will build this in your own worlds or in a creative world. I'd love to see your take on something like a different style hallway for this type of a build. Go ahead and leave those on my Twitter or on Discord. The links for both of those social media platforms are in the description below, but that's where we're gonna call it a day. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something today and are excited for the next episode of BluPrints. We'll see you in the next one.